Hello and welcome to Hapara and map testing training. Hapara and Hapara Highlights helps you as a classroom teacher to see what your learners and students are doing in their Chrome browser on their Chromebook. This usually happens in near real time. There are also other things that you can do with Hapara. You can remotely open or you can close browser tabs on a learner device to help to refocus them to the task at hand. You will be able to share files, sites, or URLs or links with your students very easily. This tutorial walkthrough is specifically focused on how you use Hapara and Hapara Highlights with your remote learning students that are at home for map testing. To sign into Hapara, open up a new tab and go to your waffle and scroll through your apps until you find the Hapara link, which looks like this. You'll come to this screen and it may or may not go pretty quickly. If you've been playing around with Hapara already, it will sign you in automatically. But you saw there right underneath there, it said sign in with Google. So that screen, you just have to click the button, use your credentials that you use to sign into your laptop, and then it will sign you into Hapara to get you to this screen. And then from there on in, you will get loaded and it will bring you in automatically again. You will not have to continue to sign in. It'll do just like it did for me. So from the screen, you should also have at least 6 or 7 tabs or squares that look like here, rectangles, for the classes that you have that are in your Skyward account. So if you have a blank screen from this point, please contact admin or Kathy Bobrowski, because you should have all of your students and your classes should be loaded and that should be set up for you and already done. So we want to make sure that that has been taken care of for you before map testing begins. So I have a sample Sandbox class that I created and put some kids in there just for purposes of training so that you can see what it would look like. So when you get here, you're going to click on any of your homeroom classes, any class that you know you have all of those remote kids in that you can check to push the map testing and your Meet link out to them. So I'll click on my sample class. Once it loads, these are actual students and this is real time. So I'm going to go to highlights. You would click highlights here and it will populate whatever tabs are open on those students' Chromebooks right now. So because I also had like my student account, if you will, it's not showing anything right now because it's saying I'm offline. But these are other students that right now they do have these tabs open for them. And you would go ahead from here, be in highlights, and you're going to go into guided browsing. So in guided browsing, you would click that once and you're going to set up a focus session. So your focus session, you'll click the blue tab here and you're going to enter your map testing, your NWA link. You're going to enter in your meet.google.com, hit return, and those will be the two links that you want to have for the whole site that you want the students to be able to go to, because the ones that are at home, you want them to be able to have their Meet tab open and also for their map testing. So whole site will be selected. Your session, I'd suggest just giving them the full 180 minutes. That's up to you as long as you make sure they have plenty of time if they have to come back. At the end of the session, you can leave these toggled to yes. So the tabs that you have introduced to the session can stay open until they're finished at the end of the session, or you might want to even just click no. I'm a little leery of that because you have the Meet tab that you're going to want. So I would just keep this at yes, and any other original tabs that the kids had before the session began, if you want those to come back for them, you can leave that at yes. If they were working on something, it would automatically populate on their device. So who is this session going to be for? You're going to click on students so that you can see who it is that you're going to be checking off. So if you wanted to check off whichever students are at remote, you'll do that. And then do you want to schedule this session for later? Yes. So this is for those of you that are planning on setting this up ahead of time, which I would, suggest you can go ahead and do that, and it's already ready to go for you. So I'm going to click on the calendar, and let's say I'm going to set this up for next week. My test date is on May 10th at 9 o'clock. So I'll click at 9 o'clock, and I can also save this as a template. So if I save it as a template, now that I've done that, I have to scroll back up to the top. So I was here, I was down here, but I have to go up to the top because now it's saying, oh, it's a template, so I have to give it a name. So if I can do anything, I can say map testing, I can give it specific, I can say ELA, or I can say math. It could be anything that you wish to do. So I'll scroll all the way back down to the bottom. I've got it labeled as my template, and I can save. So now the template is saved. I'm good to go. And now I can go and schedule a session also. So I'm going to schedule this session, let it get ready to go in for May 10th. So if I want to make sure that it worked and to see what I've got, I'm going to click on schedule, and I have nothing scheduled for this week. But I'm going to go to all my upcoming sessions, and you see there it is. So I've got May 10th at 9 o'clock, and I've got 180 minutes for one student, and I've got 2 links in there. Now from this screen, you can also go and schedule all the other ones that you have for map testing. You can go back to your guided browsing, and you can now check this box off, and you can see that you've got map testing or whatever the other things that you might have labeled. And I can choose the map testing one. I want to review what it is. I was like, okay, well, this is the same, everything is good, and I can just go ahead and check the students that are going to be in there. I can schedule this session for later, put in a new date. So now this session is going to be on the 11th, and it will also be at 9 o'clock. Excuse me. And this is kind of making it look like it's a new session here. So once I'm done with that, scroll down and I can save. So this is a new template, and I've got to choose a student, so that's why it's not giving me anything. So I can schedule my session, and there I have one set up for the 11th. So I can go back that way and change the templates and things. It's really up to you what you feel more comfortable with. But in another way, once you schedule one, when you're here in this screen, it's like, well, I've already chosen all my students. Like if I already have the students here, I've already set up the duration, I could just go ahead and duplicate also from the screen instead of even worrying about the templates. So I can duplicate, and it will hold everything that I did the same way. All those students would still be here, and all I got to do then is just change my days. So if I wanted to set this one up and say, all right, I've got one on that Friday, and this one is going to be for 10 o'clock perhaps. For Friday, I can schedule this session, and I'm good to go. So it made it for Friday. And to even further give me, just for visually, I can click right in these boxes, and I can give these boxes a name, and it saves. I just click outside of the area and it's saved automatically. So I know what it is, I know when, I know the time, I can review how many kids are in there and what links I have. And if I needed to check or change anything, very simple to do from the screen, I can go back and I can edit, I can copy it or duplicate it, or if I made a mistake, I can go and delete it and I don't need it anymore. So just like this one, I don't need this, I'm going to be getting rid of it. If I want to look at any past sessions, if I had them, I can look that up and see what went through, all my upcoming ones, and anything if I have during this week. Remember, I got to this by clicking on schedule in this location. So a couple different ways. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I just wanted to show you the options. So you get signed in. You're going to be coming to your dashboard. It will look something like this to begin, but you need to start in highlights is how you get to your focused and your guided browsing. From here, you click on your guided browsing. You're going to choose or make a template depending on what you'd like to do, or just go directly to making your focus session. Once you do that, get everything in how you want it to go, and make sure that you have contacted admin if you don't have any students that are in there so that we can get you properly set up. So that's it for our Hapara and map testing training. Hapara is going to be able to allow you as the classroom teacher to push out the map test and your Google Meet only for those two areas to be on the computer or device for your students, and that's the only place that they will be able to go during the map testing while they are remote and at home. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, please let us know and take care.